boys and girls. Mrs. Freeland here. Last lesson was a little bit long, right? We talked about how to write down our ideas. It has to be a small moment, but it has to come from a strong emotion. And we saw some different emotions, didn't we? We saw somebody be excited. We saw somebody be scared or worried. We listened to a book about somebody that was disappointed when the rain ruined their parade, but then at the end they made the best about it. So sometimes your story can start feeling one way, but ends up feeling a very different way, right? So here's some things that you can think about while you're choosing ideas to write your story about. And boys and girls, sometimes it can be really hard to come up with a good story idea. But remember, once it pops in your brain, write it down, and then your brain can think about something new. So here's some things to get you thinking. The first thing is, which moment do you remember the most? So when you think about maybe last year, last summer, when you were little, sometimes you don't remember that much about when you were little, but the things you do remember are most likely centered around emotion, right? I still remember things that happened when I was 5 or 6, and they were always centered around an emotional moment for me. And then also think about what's important to you. Maybe it doesn't seem important to someone else, but for some reason it was important to you. And what might be important to your reader? Like if someone in the class reads your story, what's something that they would like to hear about? That might be a good thing to talk about. So there's some ideas to keep in mind while you are thinking of ideas for your story. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to be sure and review the writing process with you. So remember that our first step is to think about our ideas. And we're thinking about ideas that have a strong emotion that you remember that might be important to someone that's going to read your story. We picture it happening in our brain, play it like a movie and picture it happening. And then we kind of tell the story to ourselves, to a partner. We could use the story hand. So we retell that story. And then that will get us ready to start writing it. So today we're really going to focus on these steps of picturing, thinking of an idea, picturing the story, and then practicing it with someone around you or to yourself, and making sure to include all the parts of the story and saying why it's important. Remember, you're not going to tell the whole story of the whole day. You're going to break it down to the most exciting moment. Okay, I hope you enjoy thinking of stories, and I